People always focus on the past, where as a professional day trader, we just focus on the future. You can do very well in trading, and you don't have to have a good amount of movement for the stock to go up.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Fausto from Cyber Trading, and welcome for another episode here on the Cyber Traders. I am super excited. Hope everyone has had a great 2025, and we're going to start the new year. We got a great list of great podcasts that are coming up in the next several months, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. But I wanted to start off the year with someone very, very important. I think you guys are going to be super excited to hear this conversation because everybody wants to know about AI trading, and especially me. I mean, like, listen, we can only do so much. And what was great about this is Jared is a good friend of mine. He's the founder of a company called QuantConnect. He started, after traveling and helping people around the world. He saw technology and finance. He helped work together all these people. He built a platform to help people to build testing and trading algorithms. And Jared's goal is to give everybody, no matter what your background, is the access to tools that we once only could imagine that institutions have that we could do ourselves. And when I met with him, and I know him for a while, we reconnected at the big trade station event. We had dinner together. We had a long conversation at the summit over there at Crossroads. And I says, Jared, I got to have you on because everyone's always asking about what the hell is going on with the algorithm trades, everything else, and all that. So, Jared, thank you so much for being here. It's great seeing you. Welcome, logged in from Florida. Don't really see the tan as much, but other than that, you look great.
I know I'm working too much, I think. But no, thank you. It's very good to be here, and I appreciate the warm intro.
No problem, no problem. So before we start getting into all this AI stuff, maybe you could tell everyone a little background about you. I know a lot about you, but I guess no one would be better that will explain it to than you, and how you got here and how you got started and what we're going to talk about.
Sure. So I'm from New Zealand originally. I have been into the market since I was maybe 16. I found some old dusty computers and polished them up and sold them, and took the first $2,000 that I had ever made in my life and put it into some penny stocks in the New Zealand stock market. And since then I was hooked and just got into the stock market and analysis personally, and trading and investing, and really started to get interested in quant analysis like in my early 20s, just trying to think. Like, I was a young programmer and I was hacking away on the weekends and trying to think how I could apply that to the markets. I studied biomedical engineering in New Zealand, and that was great. But after 4 years, I yearned for something faster, because biomedical technology takes a decade to get to market. Once you go through the approvals and regulatory process, it's such a slow industry, and I really wanted to do something faster. So I didn't know it at the time, but I went into humanitarian work and then eventually into entrepreneurship. So yeah.
So you basically, and tell us a little about your humanitarian work that you did before in the past, and how you got into the algo trading.
Yeah. So it was 2009, 2010, or even earlier. Sorry, maybe even 2008. But I jumped on a cargo ship, and I left New Zealand working as an electrician on this cargo ship, and landed in Asia with nothing to my name, just my backpack, and was just exploring Asia and
trying to find yourself.
Yeah, well, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do yet, so was figuring that out. But I was in Myanmar, and then a massive tropical cyclone hit. I was in China, sorry, and a massive tropical cyclone hit in Myanmar, so it was like right next door to where I was. So I hacked my way in and went in to volunteer during this relief period, and started to work in the industry for a few years. So that was pretty interesting. And I learned a lot about how NGOs work and about how their funding works, and how basically a lot of their operations are hamstrung by their funding. So that's I originally started trading, like going into this, launching more of a full-time fundraising for NGOs. So I was like,
Okay.
you can build an algo, build a trading strategy, and try and funnel it into NGOs somehow to bypass the funding problems that they were having. But that was a little bit naive, but it got me hooked on the quantitative trading space. Yeah.
So what helped you create the QuantConnect back in 2011?
QuantConnect. Yep. So QuantConnect was originally started by that effort. So I started a little hedge fund. I was doing intraday, relatively fast trading on very liquid tech stocks, and I was in an apartment in Chile and just hacking away day and night, building these algorithms, building the infrastructure. And it took me about a year to get infrastructure, data, and a strategy that was worth trading. But it was just a massive investment and effort. And I could see like this massive barrier that a lot of other people had, and that nobody else could really reproduce this. I was like 26, and I didn't have a family to support, and I was just sort of living off savings and trying to build this quantum infrastructure. It's like nobody is as lucky as that. Like it was an insane,
But
cheap place to
Darren,
live.
everybody tries to build these things. Let me just, what makes, why do people fail and succeed? I mean, when I started, just to give you a little heads up, there was always people coming out with these black boxes. Okay.
Mm.
And then I'm very well connected. Like, obviously, even Trade Station, I was connected with a lot of these other brokerage firms, and being close with them, they always tell me, and they said, "Oh, Fausto, I got another guy that came out with a new black box." And it's so funny, but they don't realize that once the other people on the other side know what they're doing, they work great, and all of a sudden they know how to do the opposite, and then they blow up. So I mean, it's been around for a while, So what has changed? Because what that happened when I was back in like 2000, 2005, the financial crisis. So, I mean, you came in right around 2011. I know you've been very successful at it. What changed, and what made you figure out the algo around it to make it better?
So what we do is we serve a tool for building algorithms. So what you're talking about are the black boxes themselves, the algorithms.
Right. The blocks, is that right?
Right.
You build the algo behind you. You build in the formula behind it.
We're more like a toolbox.
The toolbox.
It's a toolbox and a workbench. So you can walk up to your workbench, you can pull out your spanner, and you can go to work on your bike or whatever you're trying to build. And the algo itself is the bike in that metaphor. So we're the tool bench, the workbench. We've got all the data, all the tools, all the connections to the brokerages, all there ready to go, so that you can just walk up and you can write 3 to 5 to 100 lines of code, and you're building your own black box algo.
Oh, okay. Okay. So someone has a style they like. Obviously, you don't know where to begin, So then you just come in. You're basically the workshop that built, that they basically, their car's broken. You're selling the auto body, and that's basically, you're just setting them up how to do it.
So after I started the hedge fund, and I built all that trading infrastructure, so that's connections to brokerages, downloading the data, we built QuantConnect. So QuantConnect is this cloud platform that lets anyone log in, and then they can easily access all of the data and all of the brokerage connectivity that we've built.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
You can imagine it like we've written 1 million lines of code, so that you can come in and you can write 100 lines of code.
Wow.
To implement your own quantitative trading algorithm, your own strategy.
Okay. Well, we're going to show everybody a little bit about how this actually works. So don't go anywhere. We're going to cover it. We're going to show you how that whole QuantConnect does work. But before we do that, just a couple of things, just to kind of like, even myself, you wrote the hands-on AI trading with Phantom, correct? And that was a role that helps AI play into it. How is AI changing the whole thing? Because now everyone's like, do I really need to trade? Can I just, just AI do it for me? I mean, you can't beat AI. I mean, as much as they don't think like us, but like, can't you just build a code and have AI just do it for me?
So there's two types of AI, and AI has been around for 30, 40 years.
By the way, not too many people know that.
Right. So the original AI pre 2022 is effectively like a variable tester. So most people, when they have their trading strategies, they think I'm looking at the charts, and when the RSI goes above 75, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to have a 2% stop loss, for example. So when you do that, you have two variables. You have the RSI number that you're looking at, and your trading stop loss. So those two numbers you kind of pick out of the air, or you optimize based on your personal experience and your trading, or your risk tolerance, that sort of thing. So with AI, it can go and figure out what those numbers should be automatically. So that's the older style of AI.
Right.
But now the newer style, now LLMs, this new AI technology that's coming out with ChatGPT, basically it strings together sentences. And so it's got a massive understanding of words and how words chain together. And using that, they're able to do all sorts of crazy things. And so what we're using it for is stringing together code. So you're able to have these new AIs write code for you. And so all the AIs know how to do is string together the code commands one after the other. And on QuantConnect now, you can tell these AIs, write a strategy that does this, and then the AI goes and strings together the code to write it for you and build the algorithm. And so now people are sort of having these AIs manage other AIs, and having the AIs come up with ideas, like go and generate some trading ideas, and then you can feed those trading ideas into something else that writes code. And so there's this explosion of AI in the recent 2 or 3 years because its fundamental language is just stringing together words, which is much easier to apply to business contexts like this. We're trying to achieve, like, build me a trading strategy or figure out how to improve my edge. And the AI can go and do the analysis on it.
So can't you just have AI, like I said, getting back to before though, can't you just build out that strategy and just have AI just trade for you and not even worry about it if you wanted
Soon.
to?
Yeah, soon, very soon.
Soon.
So some of the things we're working on, for example, is I'll show you in a minute. You can just build this strategy, and it will go and write the code for you and do the research and build the strategy. But so that's the most direct application. But another application we're working on is we're calling the live monitoring agent. And a lot of people have their algorithms live in the markets, and you can't sit there 24/7 monitoring them. But you can have an AI just monitoring your algorithm and monitoring its trades and making sure it's working. And so we're going to deploy a live monitoring agent on our users' algorithms, and they'll be able to sort of have this team member monitoring their algorithm for them and warning them, hey, there's some news event that impacts your portfolio. Quick, have a look, check it out.
Well, could we actually build one now? Would it take too long if I gave you, like, let's say, I have a certain strategy. It's called, and we basically follow the high frequency trades. Will it take us too long for you just to go into a platform and just kind of show it really quick and see how it works?
We can try.
All right, let's do that.
High frequency trading takes a little more time to backtest. So let's do like a hourly or daily strategy.
All right, just got to just if you can share your screen. Looks like we lost it before. Oh, there we go. All right. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I think everyone's going to really, really enjoy this. There we go. All right.
Okay. So I'll let you seed the idea. What strategy would you like to test?
So basically, we use NASDAQ Total View, or we use something called Bookmap Level 4, and just want to see where the orders are, like, where the trend is, like right now we're trading a stock that's moving up pretty well this morning. If you could bring up a stock, SMX, here's a very inexpensive stock. It was at like $500. It's running up pretty well. It's up about $80 right now. It's up like $35. I don't know if you could tell us like where the orders are, like, or maybe even a popular strategy you might have. I mean, but
Go. Okay. All right. I'll think about something along those lines. Okay. So first, big picture, so this is what you're looking at is the QuantConnect cloud platform. When we let you create projects. So when you create a project, it shows up like this. And so this is a coding environment. And at the moment, there's still, you need to code on QuantConnect, but it brings up this coding environment where you can do research and run back tests and live trading through the QuantConnect platform. So the instructions that you tell it to do determines what the backtest is going to go and do in its history. So in this case, we're saying just add some stocks and then allocate 30% of the portfolio to each of those assets. So it's just very, very simple, and it generates a backtest report that looks like this. So in our cloud, we have about 60 different data sets covering equities, futures, index options, crypto, future options, and a lot of different alternative data sets. So that's where you can pull in like fundamental data, news feeds, earnings, IPOs, that sort of thing. So you can analyze like Wall Street bets, comments about different stocks, and then use all of that in your analysis. So you can do any sort of analysis that with the data sets that we provide, and then you can go and import your own data sets if you have it. So we don't have book data,
okay.
But we can do another. We can do some other analysis based on this, based on the data that we have.
Could you do a VWAP or something like that?
So say that
VWAP, the VWAP.
Sure. Let's have a look at the order volume. Yeah. So let's okay. So write a strategy that looks at volume, abnormal volume in the QQQ constituents, and invests when we see a spike in volume.
So right now what you're doing is you're asking AI to write you this script.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm basically just defining what the strategy I'd like to build is. And so it'll do the first pass of that investment idea. And then we can start layering on like portfolio sizing. I just wrote a very short prompt there, but if I had taken longer, I could have defined how do we want to size these trades, and do we want any risk control on the trades that the AI is going to do. So at the moment, it'll just take a guess at those sort of.
Now, does it know spreads on a stock?
We do. We've got the top of the book spreads and the trade data.
Okay, so let's say like let me say like half the people fail in trading is because they trade stocks that are just what we call tradable, non-tradable. It means like they're too volatile, they have big spreads. They just see a name and they might see something like, oh, there's some good news on a company. Like I just gave you the stock SMX, which technically for some people here, it is not tradable for them because the spread is way too big, it's too fast. Now we like to work off stocks off the big percentage gainers. So, what I'm saying is like, is it able to scan and say, hey, I want to trade the big percentage gainers today on the NASDAQ. Could you give me the stock that is going to give me the least amount of risk with the high amount of reward without me going through it? Stocks that have very good tight spreads, good volume, and so on. It'll spit it out for me. Would it be able to do something like that? Is that too much to ask?
We can try with a live demo. Who knows? But yeah, I think we could try it. Yeah. So we know the spreads. We can look at the spreads. Anything in the QQQ or the SPY, they're all going to be very tight spread because they're all very liquid stocks. So you're looking for ones with low spread to trade, right?
Yeah, with a very tight spread. A very tight spread, because some of these spreads, these bids and offers could be 10, 20, 30 cents wide. Some of them only a penny wide, So I think that would help show people, I think everyone that has to like just ask AI. I mean, I know ChatGPT can't help you with that. It's not a professional trader, but I know your AI is. But sometimes people look at it like NVIDIA. Should I buy NVIDIA? And I'm like, that's not really the right way how to go about it. It's like could you even afford NVIDIA? And we always try to educate people. There are other stocks than NVIDIA. There's like NVDL, there's NVDY, there are other ones out there, but it's all about the spread is the most important thing before you can even consider trading it. And then we could probably, I don't know if it's possible to ask it, okay, now you could ask for a strategy. Once it finds you that stock that you want to like, because we day trade.
Yeah.
So if you find something you want to day trade, is it capable of doing something like that?
Yes. So we have data down to tick, up to daily bars.
Okay.
So in this case, the AI has written the strategy we talked about, and it's added minute resolution data for the QQQ universe. So that's 100 tech industry stocks. So when you're doing quantitative trading, you look at the universe of assets that you want to trade.
Okay.
So if you're looking for assets with low spread, what's the universe? Are you looking at, say, the Russell index, or are you looking at the S&P 500?
No more indexes, just specific stocks. It could look in the Russell, like could you find me stocks in the Russell that have that specific, spread?
Right, that's fine. Or you could, if you're doing specific stocks, you would say, find moments when NVIDIA had low spread, and then invest.
Okay, let's see how that works.
The movement of, Okay, so this strategy looks like it's working reasonably well. The one we just came up with, so that's great. So just finding abnormal volume and buying seems to be a good strategy.
Wow, that worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
I made some money on that one.
Right. So we can leave that running, and I'll come back to that one later. We'll just start a new project. And so this next one should be low spreads for specific stocks, or like in an index?
A specific stock.
Okay. So what's this stock that you're interested in?
Let's look at something very popular. Let's use like NVIDIA, for example, NVDA.
In NVIDIA, find moments of relatively low spread and invest portfolio. Sell when the spread is higher. Is abnormally high. All right, we'll see. I'm not sure how that'll go, but we'll see. So, all right, that'll go and write the code, and we'll come back to it in a second. So this one has finished. So this has gone and it's added the whole QQQ. It's looking at the rolling volume, and the code for all that's behind the scenes here. And then hopefully it's looked at some.
Why is the code so important to us as just a regular investor? I mean, I know that's, that is very important for a programmer or stuff like that. But with that, do we do anything with that, or just basically just giving you the code?
I think that in the next 6 to 12 months, the code will probably become less and less important as AI gets better and better. At the moment, though, it's relatively important to just at least eyeball it to make sure the logic is as you'd plan, as you'd hope, because that's the real logic that your strategy is following. And so, when you're putting real money on the line, you probably want to at least eyeball it and understand it and make sure it's working as you expect.
Because we have a lot of engineers that are students of ours, so I mean, they get it,
Right.
But then you have like regular grandmas and grandpas are like, I can't even. I know I can tell the colors, but I can't understand what that means.
Right. I know it's still pretty much the AI that we're using is still pretty bleeding edge. And so we just want to make sure people understand the risks of quant trading and they're understanding what the strategy is doing. But as AI gets better and better and better, I can imagine that risk drops significantly.
Now, Jared, is this your personal AI, or is this piggybacking off ChatGPT or any others?
We're using leading US models, but what we have done is built tools that make those models effective. So when you go to ChatGPT or any other website, you just say, write me an investment strategy. It'll get it wrong 50 to 80% of the time.
Right.
But when it does it through QuantConnect, it can use our website directly to get feedback. And so that feedback, just like a human, it tells the AI where to go and where its mistakes are so it can improve.
Okay.
So
teaches AI what to look for.
Yes.
Okay.
So in this case, it actually wrote it pretty perfectly first time, but you can see here, now let's compile the project and check for errors. So here's where we give the AI feedback and we say, hey, these are the errors in your project to go and fix before you do any further research. So we do a lot of work in giving the AIs very, very good feedback so that it can write code well and reduce the errors.
What have you found that who's being like people that are using it, that what code has been working very successful in their trading? Anything popular? Like, is there a way to that, like, could you copy someone else's code, or are they sharing it, or it's what they have to come up with on their own?
Yeah, we have tens of thousands of users, and they're some of them share their code in something we call
tens of thousands.
Yes.
Oh my God, where are they all? Are they
all over?
Wow, that's amazing. By the way, if anybody wants to learn more about it and get a copy of it, we'll give you the link. But I'm working with Jared on doing a little bit of a workshop, down the road. So if you get your phone, you at the top right-hand corner, take a QR code and just scan it with your phone, and we'll get you that demo, and we're planning on probably doing a workshop a little bit better than just doing a podcast here to learn how to use that. Now, is there a community of all these people in there, or is it on is on a chat room, whatever, stuff like that, or?
Yeah. So people, you are asking about strategies. So before people are now posting what we're calling the strategy library. So this is new, but people have started to post here, and so you can come in and you can see other people's algorithms and how they've gone, and whether or not you share this is completely at your discretion. So wow. These users have chosen to go and share their code with the community, so you can see their strategy and learn from it and adapt it for your own portfolio.
Wow. Okay. So you don't have to be like somebody like just make something up. I don't know anything. You can kind of like look at someone's strategy, what's really working. Now, what are those columns that you have right there? What are those exactly? One says CAGR, percentages. Everything's always green, which is good.
The top ones are green, so that's good. The Sharpe ratio that your audience probably knows, a measure of the volatility, how smooth it is. This is called the probabilistic Sharpe ratio. So that measures how volatile the strategy is.
Okay.
The likeliness that it's a good strategy. The drawdown, which is obviously how far the strategy draws down in this back test, the returns, the annualized returns. And now what we're doing is running these algorithms every day or every week, and we're going to calculate the current return in the trailing month. So you can see what algorithms are working this month. So our goal is to grow the strategies collection to thousands of algorithms, and you'll always be able to come in here and find something that's performing well this month, and then adapt it and deploy it to your own portfolio.
But won't it be daily things could change? I mean, like, listen, just look what happened to market in the last couple of days. I mean, just like the volatility, I mean, and then you have a crash. So is it, there are people on this daily that are constantly testing their strategy and using it?
Yeah. So people are constantly, we've got hundreds of hedge funds on the platform and thousands of individuals, engineers and data scientists who are writing code and creating their own personal accounts. And now as we adding the AI and opening it up, we're seeing more and more traders comfortable with using the AI to help them peer program, write the code for their.
So Jared, let me just reiterate this again. So you're saying that it's not just like us traders that are in here. You got hedge fund managers in there. You got engineers using this platform, and they're posting their codes right here.
Yes. So we started purely for retail, but we were founded 2011, So it's just been compounding year after year. We get better and better and better, add more and more data. The platform becomes more and more sophisticated. And now we're actually more sophisticated than most hedge funds technology.
Wow.
Most of the time, what they have internally, they've duct taped, they're doing part time. They've got like 3 users, and one of them left last week. And so QuantConnect is now way better than most hedge funds technology. And so they choose to use us as their platform. So they can do research and then live trading through the QuantConnect platform. I didn't even show you guys live trading yet. You want to see that?
Yeah, let's see that, definitely.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Okay, so let's do the volume strategy. So when you've got code and you've got a strategy you like and it looks great, you can click up here to the lightning bolt and you can deploy that code through to any of the brokerages that we support.
So it's an API into them?
Correct.
Oh,
so
wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we connect into their API. We pull down any holdings or cash information from the brokerage, and then that information is passed into your algorithm. So the algorithm will know your capital and your holdings. And so, yeah, we've got about 30, 40 different brokerages, the major ones, and then also paper trading. So you can deploy it and just fictionally trade it with our brokerage, a fake brokerage. So
Wow.
you just need to click the destination and hit deploy.
And it executes.
Yeah. So it'll take your code, run it in our cloud. All the data feeds, all the historical information that it needs is all provided to it. And it'll just start running and giving you a beautiful chart.
That's amazing. You know, like, listen, what's amazing is that you started such a long time ago, and you got to think about it where we're today. Just people just starting to catch up on this stuff a little bit now. So you're like way ahead of everyone else, and just have all those tens of thousands of people that are using it, which I'm always impressed more. Even just having a hedge fund person to even take you seriously or your platform seriously. Like you're talking $1 billion companies. People don't realize that are in here. Like I tell them, listen, I train hedge fund people all the time. They they don't understand sometimes that type of a market. We do this all day long. So just to let everybody know that are listening in, you can compete with these people. I tell them all the time. You just got to know and surround yourself with the right people that are out there to do it all day long, and and just gotta have to kill it, But it's great that you got some big people using it. Now, how do you get this product? I mean, is it a paid service? Is there a demo service? How does it work?
Yeah, so we have a very generous free tier. So you go to quantconnect.com and you can sign up for free, and then you can do back testing for free, and the back testing is good enough for daily back testing. So you can build a strategy with fundamental data and longer term holding parameters. And then when you're ready to go live, you need a subscription. So it's a monthly cost, and it just depends on the servers that you're using. So if you're using a relatively small server, it can be as cheap as like $30, $40 a month. Mm-hmm. And then if you want to do sort of super powered AI GPUs and lots and lots and lots of back testing, you just scale up and pay for the servers that you need.
So, all right, well, listen, that's great. And by the way, if we'll post that link over there in the email, or we have the link right there. You just click on it. And like I said, we probably will be doing a workshop on this too. So if you're interested, if you have your phone with you, just take your phone and just scan it right there. You could do that also there. Now regarding just a couple of things. So anything new that's coming out, Jared, that you coming out with QuantConnect that we should be looking forward to? I mean, I know you're saying AI is getting a little bit better and smarter, and you did a big upgrade from like a year to today. Anything else that's going to be you're working on, or anything we should be looking forward to?
The strategies library and AI and the layering of more and more AI into the platform is going to be exponentially better for users over the next 6 months. And we're really excited about seeing that work we've been doing for years now finally come to fruition and start getting shipped and integrated into the product. And a lot of it you won't even see. It'll just be hidden AI doing magic behind the scenes. There's not going to be like a chat bot to talk to. It's just going to hey, this news event came out. It directly impacts your live portfolio. You should probably check this out. We saw some volatility in your Apple holdings. Like, do you want to do something about it? And it's just an email, for example. But the magic and the tech that happens behind the scenes for that sort of thing is pretty exciting. So
when's that coming out?
They've got a few different things like that. There's going to be backtest analysis where we're scanning it, and it'll be coming out over the next weeks.
Wow, that's soon, huh?
Yeah, we do constant releases. Like basically every 2 days, we're releasing new updates to the product.
So, how are we going to? Where's this going? I mean, like, that's the nervous part. Is like, with AI out there, it's like, it's so scary. I can't live without it. Actually, it's like, what? And they do say it's replacing a lot of jobs and stuff like that. I mean, where are we going with this thing? How is it going to affect the stock market? Do you see it?
Yeah. AI is really good at executing your vision. So I still think humans have a powerful role as the manager and the direction setter of the project.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual implementation work is probably best done by the AI anyway. It can read the docs faster and execute faster. So, knowing those investment concepts like diversification and applying these concepts into your investment strategy will still always have a place, because you need to tell the AI your personal goals and set your direction and choose which investment strategies you want to deploy. So I think it's going to be really interesting seeing humans leverage AI in the next sort of.
What about AGI? You worried about that at all?
Not yet. In QuantConnect, it's very effective because in just a few hundred lines in QuantConnect of code, it can do a massive amount of things. But at the moment, AGI has been out, it's been pretty big. It's going to start thinking for itself. Right. So at the moment, though, it basically gets confused after 5 or 10 minutes of context.
AGI will? Or
AGI
AI
doesn't exist right now. But
it doesn't exist.
No.
Because I know when we were at the crossroads, that was like one of the biggest conversations they were talking about. That was the next biggest thing that people were concerned about.
But I'm not. It's hard to judge where exponential progress will go. So I don't want to make any claims. But at the moment, the LLMs have a certain ability, and they're getting better, and it's awesome. But it doesn't have the ability to see the big picture like we do, and to thread big and small pictures together. And so there's whole communities about vibe coding where you can just tell the AI to do something and it goes and builds something, and it's just full of bugs. So it doesn't see the dots like we do yet.
Exactly. Okay.
It's getting there. Who knows where it'll be in 2 years even.
2 years. All right. Well, we've still got time.
Yeah, still got some time. Yeah.
All right, Jared, listen, it was great meeting you. I'm so happy we finally connected and get you on here, and we got to definitely have you back. We want to, basically, like I said, we want to get this a little, if anyone's interested in doing, learning more about it, you got the link right there. You got the QR code on top right-hand corner. We're planning on having him back again, maybe just do his own workshop. And, just kind of set you guys up a little bit of what this whole thing's about, because everyone keeps hearing about it and everyone's trying to come out with the next AI platform. And it is a sexy name, when you start using it, and now you're starting to realize you use it towards your trading, but some people don't know who to trust or what to trust. So Jared, it's always been great to see you and have you here, and look forward to having you back. And everyone that's listening, we will have some quick little highlights of this. We will have some great shorts, and we'll have the long version on it. Just make sure you subscribe to the channel on, at Cybertrade University, and just click on our podcast area, and we'll get that link to you, and we'll get you also on that workshop. Jared, any last minute words you could say for trading or what's going on with AI? Anything you could share with your knowledge or what?
Thank you for hosting. It was really good. I'm glad the live spontaneous demos worked okay.
Yeah, that was great. All right, everyone. So we'll see you back here next week for another episode of Cyber Traders. Thanks for listening. Make sure you give us a hands up, thumbs up, like the channel, and make sure you leave a comment. We'd love to get back to you and hear from you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.